Welcome to the Compassionate Newsroom, your gateway to transforming the heart and soul of journalism. I'm your host, Dr. Kortni Alston-Lemon. I'm a former news director and television reporter turned happiness scholar. Now I train news leaders and journalists worldwide, teaching them how to cultivate workplace well-being and resilience with positive psychology. Each week, join me as I share evidence-based strategies and talk with some of the most inspiring people in the industry, including news leaders, journalists, trainers, and mental health experts. Together, we'll share actionable approaches to help you. Imagine a newsroom that not only cares about the story, but profoundly values the people behind them. A place where compassion is the competitive advantage. Don't just listen, become part of this transformative journey. Subscribe to and share the Compassionate Newsroom. Let's champion a more supportive, healthier, and happier newsroom culture, one episode at a time. Happy Wellbeing Wednesday. I'm Dr. Kortni. Today we'll be exploring a powerful concept that can transform how we connect with others, lead our teams, and engage with our communities. I'm talking about vulnerability and authenticity. In today's episode, we're drawing insights from Yaza Jagiellowicz in her article, The 5 Ways to Be More Vulnerable and Authentic. It's been published in Greater Good magazine, and you'll find that article in our show notes. This piece highlights how sharing our true selves can bring us more connection, success, and happiness in our lives and in our work. Now, in leadership, particularly in a high-stakes environment like working in a newsroom, the pressure to appear consistently strong can certainly be intense. But what if I told you that showing your true self, with all the doubts and fears, could strengthen your relationship, boost your team's morale, and enhance your overall well-being? Well, I'm here to tell you that research supports being vulnerable and authentic. So imagine this. Imagine being offered a major promotion to lead a new department, excited. You're excited, but you're also filled with some self-doubt. What would you do? Would you keep it all to yourself? Would you choose to share those anxieties with someone you trust? Maybe your leader? What if that level of vulnerability helped you let go or simply reduce your anxiety and fears about leadership readiness? Imagine, instead of rejection, that honesty led to support and reassurance. This scenario exemplifies how vulnerability can open doors to a deeper connection that is essential for support, or when you make a mistake that impacts your team. There is a value of being vulnerable. I will admit this. I value when my supervisors in the past working in newsrooms would share their mistakes with me. It removed a weight of perfection. Being vulnerable isn't about weakness. It's about courage. It's about the courage of admitting that we don't have all of the answers, and especially when we're facing challenges and uncertainty. This openness can lead to greater mental and physical well-being, as authenticity allows us to align our actions with our true beliefs and values. So in our roles, whether as leaders, we can foster better relationships by being open about our own struggles. This builds trust and encourages others to share, in creating a much more empathetic and supportive community. I will also share this with you. When people hear I'm a happiness scholar, well, I get a lot of assumptions. Many are made. First, I am known for having a very big smile. You might actually hear it as I'm speaking. I get it from my dad. He has a beautiful smile. But the assumption is also, well, you seem to be happy all the time. All the time. But I tell them that's not true. I am not happy all the time. There's days that I have that aren't so good. And I often share that my suffering, or when I have a bad day, or when I'm sad, that it allows me to value happiness. But this is what creates the true connection. So I have a TED Talk. I'll share that in the show notes too. My TED Talk paints another picture. Another story as it relates to my life. It focuses on my life as a reporter, 25 years old, in Philadelphia. At that moment in my life, I'm treasuring being a part of that market size at that age. But I became a widow after 86 days of marriage. That my late husband was accidentally shot by his friend and business partner in a mock robbery. The story made news throughout the market and the country, and I found out about it moments after doing our own mock sessions in the newsroom to prepare for our new 24-hour news, our station debut, which is a little ironic. When I share that story, everything changes. Well, especially after the silence. Normally, what happens, I get, wow, how did you get through that? Whew, you're really resilient. I cannot even imagine. But it's that level of vulnerability that creates the true connection. After that, my work as a happiness scholar and what I'm sharing seems to be much more meaningful. And I love that. So showing vulnerability enhances empathy, enhances our compassion. And this is really crucial. It's crucial for anyone in a leadership position. When we are kind to ourselves, acknowledging our own flaws and mistakes, it becomes easier to extend forgiveness to others. So remember that. When we acknowledge our flaws and mistakes, it becomes easier to extend that understanding and forgiveness to others. For leaders, authenticity will involve aligning our words with our actions. You know the saying, walking the talk, right? This transparency increases trust within our teams and encourages open communication, especially during a very important time for effective collaboration and innovation. So you might be asking this question: how can we incorporate vulnerability and authenticity into our daily lives? Well, here are a few practical steps that was shared in Greater Good. First one, acknowledge your emotions. Recognize and accept your feelings instead of suppressing them. This authenticity in emotional expression is the first step. It's really the first step towards genuine interaction. Another is asking for help. Demonstrating that you value the support and input of others, their expertise, it fosters stronger relationships within the workplace. It builds a culture of teamwork and respect. Then, of course, practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness during tough times. This will help you manage stress and set a compassionate example for your team. Engage in open communication. Be transparent about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This builds trust, as I mentioned earlier. And it makes it safer for those to express themselves honestly. And of course, model authentic behavior. As leaders, embody these principles. Your actions can inspire and guide your journey towards authentic leadership. One of the best compliments I often get is, wow, you really live your research. You really live your scholarship. And I do. But again, as I just told you earlier, it can have its ups and downs, right? That roller coaster ride. So as we navigate the complexities of our professional and personal life, let's challenge ourselves to be more vulnerable and authentic. Not only will this lead to healthier and more supportive work environments, it will also empower us to lead with integrity. And also, my favorite word, compassion. Thank you so much for joining me on the Compassionate Newsroom. Remember that the key to transformation is always rooted in compassion, whether we're reshaping the newsroom or ourselves. Have a great day.